training. I think just like Steve mentioned, this is the first time that we're doing something like this, and definitely, I think it's going to be it's helpful. It's going to be helpful for NRCS employees and also partners. I know that NRCS employees they get some of this information on that first orientation training on the first day, but I know partners are not aware of many of these tools. What I'm going to say though is that the next slide here, when it comes to NRCS business tool, I'm going to say these particular business tools I'm going to be touching here or covering here are more related to NRCS staff. So really, I would say the only one that really is going to be important for to know for the partners is going to be the ACLR because that our partners MDA Conservation District RCND folks they do have access to ACLR, but the rest of the other business tool are more pertain more to NRCS folks. Okay, so I just want to warn you guys on that. So EOPF for new, I'm pretty sure we have we should have at least 20 new NRCS employees here. We did a great job hiring a great candidate to the direct hire. So I'm guessing many of those individuals are on this call. And I'm pretty sure during the orientation training, you might have heard about EOPF, which is the electronic personal official personal folder. And basically, what I want to mention here, you're going to see that these slides are kind of busy here, but I just want to point out a couple things here. So that first bullet, electronic version of employee official personal folder, all official record required to document federal career. So basically, when you have access to this folder, and you're gonna be able to see on the next slide, you're gonna have access to your SF52, to your SF50. So basically, every time you go through a personal action, the WIGI within grade increase or promotion, and SF52 get generated, that information is going to the.
Ramon, we lost your volume. I think you muted it.
Uh-oh. What about now?
You're good.
Okay. So should I start from the beginning?
No, I mean we only missed like maybe 15 seconds, 20
Okay.
seconds.
Hey Chris, I might need to get a new mouse. Okay, so no, basically, the EOPF, this is where every time we go through a personal as a federal employees, we go through a personal action within grade increase promotion, and the SF50 or SF52 get generated. That information is going to be populated on this EOPF, and you guys should have access to it. You can access these through, of course, your LeanPass. They're forcing us to use LeanPass for everything. But if you have any issue trying to get to this, trying to access this tool, please let us know, and we can make sure you have access to it. Okay. Again, like I mentioned before, I'm not planning to touch to cover all the bullet on the presentation, but basically what you're gonna see here is just a screenshot. I just went over my EOPF so you can see how to get there. So basically, you click on that link that was on the previous slide.
Hey, Ramon, we're still just seeing your very first slide.
Huh. Okay,
and then there is a question about the EOPF.
What about now, Irina?
Still just your main slide. Just your title.
So it's not showing.
Doesn't look like you're in presentation mode here.
Really? Let me.
Okay, are you maybe sharing the wrong monitor?
No, I can see here they're presenting.
Now we just saw it switch. Still in it still doesn't look like it's in presentation mode, but it's
So what slide can you see on your end?
Just the title, NRCS Business Tools.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, for some reason, let me do this. Sorry guys for this. Now you can see just the white screen, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's do this. Let me start sharing here. Yeah, this happens when you have too many screens.
Okay, so now we see the Empower and
Okay,
EPMA.
perfect. So sorry for that. Let me go back. So I just went over this slide, right? EOPF. I was planning to go over these screenshots, what you see here, and hopefully you can see EOPF here now. So basically, these are the screenshots showing where to go to get access to EOPF once you click on the main link, right? And once you are in EOPF, this is the main homepage, and you can see here some document that has been generated for my position, right? But again, this is more for NRCS folks. Any question EOPF, just let me know because this is a topic that I know that has been covered during it's been covered in the orientation training. Now, another tool here, Empower and EPMA. And again, this is another tool for NRCS folks. To Empower, basically, this is the old one. This is the old system. I need to point that out. The Empower is the old system. Now we're moving to EPMA. But basically, both system here is a tool for employees and supervisors to track down performance, awards, and let me see what else. And of course, performance rating. So for many years we use Empower. Last year we switched over to EPMA, and for now this FY22, FY21. That's when we switch over to EPMA, but we're still dealing with Empower. The plan is that in 20 FY23 we're gonna be using Empower. It's gonna disappear, and then we're gonna be working only on EPMA. So for those of you NRCS folks, for FY22, the performance plan that your supervisor has developed, should have developed for you, came out from EPMA. When it comes to awards, when we recommend award for our employees, we're still using, as of FY22, we're still using Empower. So that's another tool that we use to carry out our business. And basically, this is a screenshot how to get to Empower. There's the website right there. And this is EPMA. So again, this is the old system, and now we're moving to the new system, which is EPMA. WebTA, very important. Just like today. Today is the week where we ask supervisor to certify employees' timesheet. So just to go over some bullet here, employees are required to enter their daily time in WebTA. On that first week when you come, when you're on that first week when you have been onboarded as a federal employee, you don't have a link pass, you don't have a access to WebTA. So basically, what we do, we work with your supervisor and make sure that the supervisor provide us with the hours that you work that first pay period, and then so we can submit that the timesheet for you. Once you get the e-authentication or the link pass, or the e-authentication confers, then you should be able to access WebTA and submit your hours. Okay, well, that's another tool that we have for NRCS employee. AgLearn, as I mentioned before, this is the only tool that I'm going to be presenting today that partners do have access. And the reason that partners have access to these tools because it's our official system to manage training for the people that work in our field offices, helping out, conducting, carrying out our mission, which is putting conservation on the ground. And of course, in order for you, for soil conservationists, a planner out there, whether our NRCS, district, or NDA, in order to carry out those that job on conservation planning, they need to meet a certain criteria. They have to complete some training specific for planning certification. So those training are the way for you to obtain access to those training is through ACLEAR. What else you can do in ACLEAR? You can do IDP. Again, this is more for NRCS folks, the individual development plan. Matter of fact, last week was the due date to get those IDP in place. You got 90 days from the day that you start working for us to get that IDP in the system. Not only partners, NRCS, I mean, conservation community out there, they don't have to rely only in ACLEAR to take a training. You can also identify training, external training out there, and we can route those external requests through ACLEAR. So in that way, when you complete that training, let's say you're taking a training with UMES or University of Maryland Extension, you can keep track with we can get a record of that the completion of that training through ACLEAR. So go directly into your official record. Again, ACLEAR is our main tool for record training record. That the role, we do have a POC for ACLEAR here at the state level, and that responsibility will fall under our business service specialist. As you know, our business service specialist, who was to be Darwin Arceo, he's no longer with the agency. So right now, between Anika and I, we're trying to assist with that role. We're working with ACLEAR Help Desk, making sure that if you have any question, any concern when it comes to ACLEAR, we can address those concerns. So again, this is a reminder, something that I mentioned this morning during statewide call. If you have any issue with ACLEAR, please communicate with me and Anika, and we'll try our best to address those. FPAC now. This is a new system. I think this FPAC now ECC came out late in 2019. They still working on it, but basically, it's the new ticketing system for all FPAC employees. And when I say FPAC, that's NRCS, FSA, and Resource Management, Risk Management Agency, RMA. And basically, let me put it this way, just to put it very simple here. I know that there's many bullets in this slide, but let me put it this way. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I would say more than that, many of the administrative service like HR, budgeting, those roles that we used to have at the state level, they were taken out of the state level, and they put it in this another division headquarters, what we call the business center. So, for example, now we don't have an HR person. We used to have an HR person that whenever we have a question on HR topic, we will walk over that cubicle to that person, and that person, she will ask those questions for us. Now, since we don't have an HR person here in the office, in one way for us to obtain responses or get an answer to our question is to the employee care center. Okay, so the next couple of slides is going to show you how to navigate and get some and request assistance from employee care center.
Hey,
Steve, how
Ramon,
am I doing on time?
Oh.
Go ahead, Irina.
There's a couple questions about AgLearn that I wanted to get through before
Sure.
we get too far away.
Sure.
So if I am in a grad program outside of work, but the courses pertain to my KSAs and knowledge, could I submit an SF 182 for those courses with supervisor approval?
Can you repeat that again? I was trying to look at the question on the chat, but yeah, can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, if I am in a graduate program outside of work, but the courses pertain to my KSAs and knowledge, could I submit an SF 182 for those courses with supervisor approval?
Well, two things here. Of course, if the supervisor, after review the curriculum or the description of that course, he or she think that that will be helpful for your for your job, definitely we can approve that through ACNER as a to just to make sure that the completion of that course get into the training record. But if that course has a cost, that's where it could be a little tricky because uh, in that situation, the supervisor might need to reach out to us and see what option or what can we work with the employee if there's any opportunity to cover those costs. But as
Hey,
far
Ramon, I can sorry, I can elaborate on that a little bit more if I need to. For instance, like I've taken a couple of hydrology courses, a couple of soils courses as well, and those pertain directly to KSAs. I wouldn't be looking for a financial assistance, but just more so as a record that I have been trained in those areas.
okay, no, definitely, I think there's a way to be able to do that. And who's this? I'm sorry.
This is Chris Blizzard.
Okay, okay, but yeah, I don't see any issue by approving those training as long as we deem that are beneficial for for you to conduct your business.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay,
Any
and
other
then the
question, Irina?
next, yeah, there's two more questions. Um,
We're sort of we're a little over time here, so maybe we should hold these questions to answer them with the later on.
okay.
I do see the something about air quality courses. They're not planned to be fixed anytime soon. So they were state courses that we required only within the state for CNMP planners. I think if that's the one I'm thinking of, we waived that requirement for now, and then we'll have you take that at another time. But we can get back to you on that one.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
it's going to be waived for state CNMP planners.
Yeah, that was for the state CNMP planners.
Will that be updated on the KSA sheet?
Well, it's the training curriculum sheet. No, we're not updating that because it's still a requirement, but we're waiving it for people right now because they can't take it.
Thank you.
Okay, so you say I'm overdue on time, Steve?
Yep.
Okay, give me 2 more minutes.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So again, I'm gonna just run through this slide very quick. Basically, these are the how to get to the ECC. But again, we can definitely provide more info. Of course, this information is gonna be shared with you guys after the training. But basically, you can see here the different services that you can find through the ECC portal. More information on ECC, Employee Care Center. EPP, that's another tool for NRCS folks where you can take a look at your pay stub. Okay. Concord is the system that we use for travel. At this point, of course, because of the pandemic, it has been 2 years since the last time we used Concord, but this is another tool that it's been, you guys get information during the orientation training. So once we start, once they lift the travel restriction, definitely we're going to be providing more information on Concord and how to get access to it. Telework. This is very important. This morning we did mention that the HRD, Human Resource Division, the folks that handle the telework policy for NRCS, they're still working on the policy. There's what you see here. These are the link to get into the portal and request a telework agreement. Start working on your telework agreement. What we have been told at this point is that since they're still working on this telework policy, remote policy, we should be getting more information soon on how to proceed, making sure that every employee have a telework agreement in place. And that's basically what I got, Steve. But I'll be answering those questions once you guys put together the Q&A.